Today's show is brought to you by Skillshare.com. At Skillshare.com, they have thousands of classes available, not just simply about business or job hunting, but lots of different classes on a host of different subjects. Almost anything you can think of, and they have one low price associated with your learning. They have classes about particular technologies you can learn, pottery, public speaking. I have a half dozen of my classes about job hunting there. Writing, photography, film, almost anything you can think of, they have Skillshare classes available. Now, if you use my link, thebiggamehunter.us/Skillshare, they'll offer a free trial and 30% off if you decide to join. There's a lot to learn, and Skillshare is a place where you can learn it. Now, let's get back to today's show. This is No BS Job Search Advice Radio, episode 2099. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. You know, I'm having a technical issue. There's nothing wrong with my computer per se, but I'm moving my database, or I'm testing out another service for data analytics. And to do that, I've got to download my entire existing database from my current service to what will be the new one that I'm experimenting with. And you know, when you download 287,000 records one by one off of this particular server, it's taking 4 days. I started Thursday at 4:30 as I'm recording this. I'm not done yet. And it's slowing everything down for me. I'm using up all my resources on the system, and it is a bear. So I'll just simply say, I decided what I would do is take advantage of the fact that there's some great people on Twitter who are posting comments daily about job hunting, and I reference a few of those for today's show. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you give No BS Job Search Advice Radio an honest review wherever you listen to the show. And I'll just simply say tomorrow's episode 2100. And we'll be back in just one moment. Today's show is brought to you by Fiverr.com. That's the word 5 with 2 R's after it.com. Fiverr is a site for freelance work. You can hire freelancers to do a variety of things for you. You can be a freelancer on it as well and experiment with the site to see whether what you want to be doing professionally outside of the rat race, outside of your full-time job, is viable. It's basically a site where they'll do the billing and collection for you and pay you once they've received the money. In addition, if you want to hire people like I do for book editing, transcriptions and such, very inexpensive, and I've had very good work for me. So again, it's Fiverr.com. You can use the link in the show notes. Frankly, you'll get a good deal from it if you do that. Now, let's get going. Hi, because of a tech issue I'm experiencing, I thought I would do a show today that focused in on some tweets from other people that might be useful to you in your job search. And I'll identify who the folks are who provided this information and encourage you, follow them on Twitter. So the first one comes from Ed Hahn, who's at @Ed_Hahn. Where he says, prepare for your interview like it's a performance. Conduct research, hydrate, and be well rested so you can unlock peak performance. Very good advice, because the fact of the matter is most people don't really do adequate preparation. Now with that, the next thing is, next piece of advice comes from Shelley Piedmont at @Shelley, SHELLEY Piedmont on Twitter. And she says, your goal in a job interview is to come in with solutions. Making someone else's work easier is a great way to show your value. You will stand out from the crowd. Then Susan P. Joyce of @JobHunt.org comments, hate your boss or your job? Do not quit your job yet. And if you go to the link that she includes, where she talks about why, very simply, quitting is a bad idea because recruiters and employers prefer passive, meaning employed job seekers. If you quit, you'll likely forfeit your rights to receive unemployment compensation in the U.S. Better to conduct a stealth job hunt instead. But if you've already quit your job, well, the shortest path to a new job is typically by being referred for the job by a current employee. 30% of referred job candidates are hired. And she has an article that she references how to make an employee referral work for you, about how to do that best. Then, and I'm skipping over my own stuff because you get enough of that, there's one here, another one from Ed Hahn, where he says, you are so much more than a job title at a particular employer. Shouldn't your headline on LinkedIn reflect your unique value proposition? Show your personal brand both in the 220-character headline and in your presence on the platform. Then from Selhurst Recruitment, which is at Selhurst, Selhurst, 2005. Gee, I wonder when they went on to Twitter. When you call a recruiter and they ask what sort of job you're looking for, don't say anything, meaning anything. Be very clear about what you can do and where you can add value. And then there's one more I saw from Daisy Wright. I'm sorry, that was a complaint about Instagram. My apologies. I know there was one more that I'd seen. Bear with me once. There's another one from Ed. Again, an Ed Hahn post. So his comment about resumes is yours is going into an email inbox or folder with other resumes. Select the file name accordingly. So the goal is not to have resume.doc. Your goal is to have a useful file name so people can find you. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, I've got a lot that's in the show notes that will help you. Go there, take a look at some of the things I highlight. I know it can help you with your search. But I want you to do one thing for me, and that is put in your phone thebiggamehunter.us, Jeff Altman, my name. And when you need help, when you need advice, when you have a question, come over to the website, go exploring in the blog, contact me for coaching or because you have a question. I'd love to help you. In the meantime, I hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great! Top Resume is a solid service to get you a better resume. Reasonably priced. It's not a premium service. It's for people like you and I who can afford a certain amount of money and also need a great result. And even better, they have a plan through a firm that allows you to stretch your payments for service over the course of the year to something like $20 some odd or $30 some odd per month, so that you don't have to write a large check, which right now, if you're not working, is really important to you. So use the link in the show notes. It will help you get a resume, and if you want, a LinkedIn profile done for you very inexpensively.